quickly check everybody's audio levels, make sure that we're all good. Alright, I'm just waiting for it to load. There's a little bit of a delay, but it should be fine. So, yeah, Rob, why don't you start with the introductions, and I'll do some other work in the background as we get everything cleaned up.
Okay. Welcome, everyone, to Panic at the Expo. We'll be playing Masks. It's a game from Magpie Games. It's a powered by the Apocalypse game. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Teenage superheroes getting into trouble and getting out of trouble, I hope. All right. Why don't we go ahead and announce everybody? Introduce yourselves. Let's start with Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris Alessandri.
And what playbook will you be playing today, Chris?
I'll be playing as the Janus.
Okay. We'll go down the list. Mike, introduce
Hey,
yourself.
hey everybody, Mike Sforza. I will be playing the Legacy character today. Or this morning, I should say.
Sounds like fun. Kitty, you're up.
I'm Kitty. I'm going to be playing the Delinquent.
And you want me to call you Lee, or I'm going to be calling you by your hero names, but Lee, you're up.
Lee is fine. And I'll be playing the Nova.
Okay. All right. So, with Masks, this is a game of teenage superheroes learning their powers and getting used to how the world works, and also trying not to get in too much trouble by skipping homework. So first things we have to do is set up the actual players themselves. I hope you've all had at least a little bit of a chance to look at the playbooks and pick out a couple moves. Now, let's take a look at the labels. Generally, it shows you the base labels. You actually get to pick one stat and add 1 point to it. So, take a look. It should be on the back of the sheet you chose.
Yep.
Okay. So, take a look at that. Pick your extra stat.
Got it.
All right. All right. And while you guys are looking at that, some of the rules of Masks. My job as the MC is to have fun. It's to make sure you guys have fun. I'm supposed to be a fan of your characters. So I'm not going to be out to destroy you much. I'm not going to be out to knock you guys out of the action. We're going to have fun. This is a narrative-heavy game. It is also a very flexible game. Your powers are open-ended for a very important reason. If you think you might be able to do it with your powers, give it a shot. It's worth a try. It may not work the way you want it to, but that's life, right? Okay. Now, let's see here. Once we got your stats down, let's go ahead and start by introducing our heroes. We'll go the same order. Chris, you've got some notepad here. You said you were the Janus, right?
Yes.
Okay. Who is your Janus?
So, my idea was, my name is... Should I reveal my name? I don't know if that's how the Janus works.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you name it in the Zoom chat? You could actually put your hero names and stuff in the Zoom chat.
Oh, that
Yeah,
would.
if you could put your hero names as your chat names, that'd be great, because that's what I'm going to refer to you guys as. Try not to break immersion.
So, I am Pine Needle. Out on a hike one day after school, I was bitten by a radioactive porcupine, and I gained the ability to. I can go find the sheet. Uh, I gained the ability of bone generation and impossible mobility.
Okay, that could be interesting. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Mike, what do you got for me?
Well, I'm gonna be a legacy, so I actually chose Tony Stark Jr.
Oh,
Yeah, well, if you look at if the playbook, that looks like yeah.
is
I
that his
mean,
actual name?
yeah, that's his actual name. So it's gonna be Iron Man Jr. So should I put that on there or?
Could you go with something maybe a little bit less like copyright infringement? Maybe like
Yeah.
aluminum person.
Yeah, I'd rather not get sued by the Disney Corporation.
Got you.
They are a little bit litigious. So.
Okay.
Just call him Stark Anthony.
Stark Anthony. Yeah. Thanks. Well, that still could be.
The aluminum lad.
All right. What John just said.
Okay, aluminum lad.
Yes.
It definitely works for a legacy. They do tend to have sometimes old names that just haven't updated with the times. Because your legacy probably goes back to the gold era at least. Okay. And what abilities did you pick, and which ones out of that list of 5 did you take? You had 3 of them.
All right. So with the legacy, with the abilities, I chose the Reality Storm. Shielding, and I chose the Elemental Awareness. Or actually, that's 2, right? With
wait a minute, I'm trying to. That doesn't.
What you're describing is actually the burn, not the abilities.
Oh, that's right. I'm
and
sorry.
That's for the Nova.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like the legacy.
No, it doesn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it. I scrolled down too far. My printer did not print out too well. That's why.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna actually go fight the good fight.
Okay. Not so much the moves. If you go back up to the first part of the page where the picture of the legacy is,
Yeah.
look at the abilities. There are 5 sets of powers.
Oh, I see them. It's called labels, correct?
No, above that.
Oh, I see it. I see it now. Yes.
Abilities.
Yes, I see it now.
There's 5 sets. You pick one of those sets, and you get to keep 3 of them for the moment. 2 of them end up being bonuses.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna use.
Just from the sound of the character that you're looking to make, it's probably the athletic perfection, Holmesian deduction, gadgetry, intimidation, and fearsome reputation would probably work best.
Yeah. I guess that last one that you just said. Oh, that's
okay. You could also go with super strength, invincibility, eye beams, flight, super senses, and just tie them all to a suit of armor of some sort.
So that's probably what I'll do. I'll probably do that last one that you just said.
Okay, so the super strength, invincibility, yada yada.
Yeah.
Which 3 do you have?
So I'm gonna use the super strength.
Okay.
Invincibility and eye beams.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's gonna be fun. All right. Aha. Nyx, tell us about your delinquent.
So Nyx is, well, she's Nyx. She has illusions and psychic weapons. She's born with her powers, which made her childhood really entertaining. And her big thing is shoplifting and conning people.
Okay. Illusions definitely make that a little bit easier.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then we have Eldrigar.
Yep.
Say that right?
Yep, that's right. So Eldrigar doesn't really know much about his actual origins. He was adopted very early,
Okay.
and early on, his powers manifested themselves, wound up hurting quite a few around him, um, and his powers manifest in the form of uh, control of all forms of electricity.
Okay, so elemental control.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. That could be useful. That could be dangerous. I like it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what does Eldrigar look like? We're gonna go back up the list and describe our physically our characters.
I mean, he's fairly athletic, medium build. Um, he's got a. It basically looks like parts of his skin have glowing Liechtenstein figures.
Ooh. Okay.
Other than that, he doesn't really wear a special costume.
Okay. Is he always glowing, or just some of the time when he's using his powers?
Just when he's using his powers.
Okay.
The
Makes it a
the
little easier.
the scars though are pretty much always there.
Okay. All right. Cool. And what about you, Nix?
So Nyx is your pretty average punk ass teenager. She has bright purple hair because she doesn't care what anyone thinks. Has a bad habit of shopping at Hot Topic, but like old school Hot Topic, not new school Hot Topic. Yeah, that's
Okay. Is the purple hair dye, or is it her powers?
depends on the day.
Okay. That's fair.
Much as she is a delinquent, she does like supporting small business, so she'll take care of her friends or friends of the family who do hair, and get her hair dyed. But if it's in between dye jobs, she'll illusion it.
Okay. Shiny. All right. Aluminum Lad. Tell us about him.
Well, looks like his father a little bit. So his father was, kind of skinny, little muscular. So he's more on the skinnier, little bit more, not as muscular yet.
Waiting for
but
that last growth spurt.
Yeah, he's waiting for that last growth spurt. He's about
Okay.
6 foot. Has got like a reddish on there, reddish with gold on there, and it looks like some falcon, like a sword with a falcon and like falcon wings hanging on the side. So,
Okay.
and there's some. He's basically like a lot of hair is black, and he sometimes wears a mask.
Okay.
He wears the mask only like when he's in combat or wants to has to do public appearance or something because of his family name. So
Okay. Sounds good. All right. And what does Pine Needle look like?
So Pine Needle is a boring-looking white man, but his costume is similar to the Janus costume, a greenish costume with numerous little black holes all across the skin and body, kind of positioned about. With a nice little kind of spiky mask to kind of finish the ensemble.
Okay. Full face or just a domino mask?
Domino mask, just like across
Okay.
the eyes and.
Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So, your team has actually been together already. You've had at least one mission, so to say, and that's actually built into the system. So you don't have to worry about how you found each other, except we're going to go over that right now. So we're going to start with the when our team first came together questions. They should be on the back of your sheets, towards the bottom below the backstory. we're going to start with the Nova Eldrigar. We destroyed our surroundings in the fight. Where was it, and what did we destroy?
So we're a pretty big city, right? So
Halcyon City, think of it like if you took Metropolis, Star City, and Gotham, smashed them all together. It's that kind of large and that kind of feel. You've got high technology, you've got magic, you've got normal people sandwiched in between. They're used to seeing supers, and they're generally pro-super, mostly because otherwise, who would stop the villains? So it's a big city, yeah.
So I think we were probably, not like major thoroughfare or anything like that, since it's our first job. Maybe somewhere in downtown, and at some point during our fight, my powers went out of control and basically released an EMP that blew out everything in a 5-mile radius.
Oof. Okay. You thinking warehouse district? You thinking more downtown? Did you knock out a couple banks by accident?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Next, we have the Janus. We saved the life of someone important, either to the city or to us. Who was it, and why are they important?
Ooh, alrighty. Let's see. Maybe we saved a bus full of people. One of them might have been important to me in my normal everyday life.
Okay.
Maybe a few wealthy people heading on their way to the banks that got blown out. But to me, the most important one was that one friend that might have been there.
Okay. Who's that friend? What's the name?
Oh, geez. Let's say Mike. Mike.
Mike?
No.
Okay. School friend? Friend
School
from work? School friend. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right. Now, for the delinquent. We totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did we break, and whose rules were they?
Excuse me, my dog is barking at me. Let's see. So what rule? I mean, all of them. No. I would say that as a team, we probably have a rule about critically injuring people that are, particularly innocent people or people who aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch
Just
that line between hero and villain. Yeah.
misguided, perhaps. Yeah, broke that real hard.
Okay. Okay. Who'd you hurt? Did you hurt the villain or?
Someone who's not necessarily a villain, someone who's just kind of really misguided and doing the wrong thing and probably could have very easily been swayed into not doing the bad thing, but nah, just beat the daylights out of him.
Okay. All right. And then finally, the legacy. All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it?
An established hero.
Mm-hmm.
Mind the Marvel references.
Yes, I know. I actually just thought of something. So the family name is going to be Firestorm.
Your family name?
That's gotta be careful with that one too. That's a DC hero.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
That's the hero name, though. It's not the person's name.
Isn't also technically Firestorm that the fire-powered superhero from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends?
I don't know about that one, but I do know that Firestorm is a DC hero that's actually 2 characters.
Oh, great.
I mean, making your last name Anthony Firestorm, you're not making the character.
Yeah.
True enough.
So we can go with that, I think. I think that's safe enough. We can make
That's
that
safe.
case if nothing else.
All right. So, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it?
We impressed an established hero. Well, I impressed my father. I
Anthony
impressed
Firestorm
him.
Sr.?
Yes.
Okay.
I impressed him when when we helped save the bus.
Okay. Maybe you jumped in front of a blast or something and took it full in the chest, and
Yeah,
you know, that
basically,
self-sacrifice is standing up to the legacy.
I
Okay.
used my super strength to help hold the bus there, and then Dad comes flying out of nowhere, and then sees me doing that, and he nods his approval.
That works. Okay. Very cool. All right. Definitely sounds good. All right. Now, below that section on your sheets, there's also relationships. You guys are going to have relationships with your teammates. They are going to give you influence over each other. It's normal. So we're going to go in the same order. So we will start with our Nova. Okay. So for your relationships, you hang out all the time with blank to blow off steam.
Well, let's make this easy. I'm gonna hang out with Nyx all the time to blow off steam.
Okay.
It-
And you once hurt blank when you lost control of your powers.
I once hurt Aluminum Lad when I lost control of my powers. They shut down his systems and he fell quite a ways.
Oof. All right, no War Machine references here, please. Okay, and for your influence, you choose your demeanor, happy facade, or locked down. So you
I'm gonna
happy-go-lucky
go
guy?
with. No, I'm gonna go with lockdown.
Okay, if you choose lockdown, you give influence to one teammate. So you pick the one teammate who you give your influence to. You value their opinion. You care what they think about you and what you're doing.
I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Nyx since that's who I hang out with.
Okay. All right. Then let's roll over to our Janice Pine Needle. Okay. Blank knew you from your civilian life first.
Ooh. All right. Let's say Nyx,
Okay, so Nyx
Oh,
knew you ahead of time.
the rebellious girl. I'm just like, hey, I know you a little bit.
Okay, so you're familiar with her. Now, in this, the team knows who you are, not just your persona, but who you are in real life. At some point, since you formed your team, you did tell them, but you refused to tell someone your secret identity when they asked at first. Who is that?
Aluminum Lad. It was
Okay.
a bit. Ooh, you got like a cool father. I don't want to get involved with that. I was embarrassed.
Okay. All right. So you look up to your teammates. They seem to have this superhero thing figured out. Give two of them influence over you.
Let's go Aluminum Lad and Nyx.
Okay. Cool. All right. Speaking of Nyx, you're up next.
Okay.
So you keep trying to impress Blank with your antics. Who are
Pine
you trying to
Needle.
impress? Pine Needle? Okay. All right. And you and Blank pulled an awesome, if illegal, stunt together.
Oh, Eldrigar, for sure. If he can knock out power, I mean.
I'm sure that took a bit of a persuasion roll. All right. You care more than you let on. You give, actually, in this case, all three of your teammates influence over you. It's all right. It's not the worst thing ever. Okay. And finally, we come to our legacy. Okay. You once got caught doing something that shames your legacy with blank.
With the delinquent.
Okay.
That would make the most.
Yeah.
That would make the most sense.
Okay. Nyx is a troublemaker. I love it. Okay. You trust blank and told them an important secret of your legacy.
Pine Needle.
Okay. All right, fine. Think of that secret just in case it comes up.
Got it.
Okay, and finally, you're part of this team for better or worse, and you care what they think. You give influence to all of your teammates.
Yes.
So everybody has influence over Aluminum Lad, and everyone has influence over Nyx, funny enough, because she
Yes.
actually cares.
Lies.
Okay.
Lies, deceit, and blasphemy.
Sure. That may be what you say on the outside, but on the inside, we know the truth. Okay. So, with that fun stuff out of the way, we are rolling on to the game itself. Now, like I said, you are on a team. You've been working together for about a month or two now. But you do find time to hang out together on the outside because, why not? None of you are terrible people, you hope. So, as it turns out, today is the day that Tabletop Halcyon has spun off their gaming convention with they spun it off from last year's Halcyon City Classic Gaming Convention. So it was originally they had all kinds of classic games for consoles and all kinds of fun stuff. Now it's primarily just a tabletop and game card gaming stuff. It's at the same place, the Cradle of Heroism Memorial and Museum. We have that on the Roll20, and let's see if we can post that somewhere. I actually like that map. Last year they had a bit of an issue. A supervillain tried to steal some hardware, but it got taken care of. And everyone's invited back. In fact, this year they've got something real special. As it turns out, Iron Lad, one of your father's competitors, has created a holographic system, and instead of just having the War Sword 30K competition on tabletop with miniatures, they're actually having a full-scale live demonstration of the game in the battleground section on the west side. It looks pretty cool. They've got a really big hangar set up. But there's going to be, it's going to literally be these miniatures in live size. It's kind of cool. But they've also got some tabletop stuff. They've got some regular card games, board games, all kinds of fun stuff. The place is packed with people. You guys have shown up. You're inside. What are you guys looking for? Who wants to do what?
Well, I guess we're gonna walk in. I think now, where's the vendor area gonna be?
The vendor area is right in the atrium, right when you first get in.
Okay.
Really?
Of course, they want to hit you up with all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, that seems like a terrible idea.
Why? You got to go through the vendors and see all kinds of fun stuff that you might want to buy before you get to your games.
Yeah, but it's so easy to just, pilfer.
I don't know. There's plenty of people around. I mean, the place is packed, but there's plenty of people around who seem to be keeping an eye. But, I mean, yeah. You could conceivably try and steal stuff, you naughty, naughty person, you.
I'm a terrible hero.
Well, I'm definitely interested in the battleground at some point.
Yeah, I would probably definitely head over there just to make a cameo appearance and see what the competition's up to.
Okay.
But I would probably head out at the atrium, hit the vendors area. Then is there anything going on in the theater, like any shows or anything? Is there like a schedule?
There is a schedule posted outside. There's nothing showing right now, but they do have a couple different panels coming up. It's early in the morning. It's probably about 10 o'clock right now. Things are just getting started. So I think at 11 they have a panel from a couple different podcasters coming up. later on, there's going to be a live game.
Okay.
So some moderately
yeah,
famous podcasters are coming in.
okay. So I would just head out that area, and then I would head over to the battleground area, probably whenever they're doing their demonstration.
Okay. The game itself is scheduled for later on in the afternoon, but they've got the holograms up and running, so you can actually walk around some of these mechs and space grunts and whatnot. It's really impressive. They've really done a nice job with it.
Do these guys have a name at all? This company or no?
The company itself. You tell me. Who's your father's biggest competitor?
Oh, Dad had so many competitors. Let me get back. Let me think of who would actually have the resources to do this. So,
All right, that's fine. Okay, let's see here.
Well, I think I'm going to try to stay away from the crowds, actually, and kind of try to slip back, see if I can sign up for a game without drawing too much attention.
Okay. Are you in your costume? Are you coming in as yourself?
Actually, I might come in as myself.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who are quite obviously heroes. There's a lot of cosplay too. So either one would work.
Oh, then.
But I mean, there are some people who just can't hide who they are.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough. I might come in without the costume, like a few minutes after everyone. Try to like keep my distance, do my thing, keep an eye on them, but try to have a good time overall.
Okay. Sounds good. Nix, are you stealing anything yet, or are you gonna wait for later?
Contemplating it, but so far I'm trying to be a decent human.
Okay. That's appreciated, I'm sure. Now, what about you, Eldrigar? What are you up to?
Let's see. Right now, I am just kind of looking through the sites, doing the little travel through the Dream of Heroes, Heroes of Might and Magic, just seeing what's out there.
Okay. The displays are definitely still up, even though there are tables interspersed everywhere now. The way the system tracks through, you get to start with the Dream of Heroes, which describes the original Gold Era heroes, and how they kind of just came to be, how they just stepped up. Back in that day, they were less superheroes and more just larger than life people who stepped up to fight the good fight, so to say. People who ended up fighting mob bosses and just becoming famous, and usually they had a gimmick of some sort. As it moves on to Might and Magic, it shows how some of them did manage to find magical items, stuff left over from eons ago, and basically just all manner of fun things that help them fight the villains of their day. And then it transitions into the heroes who fought in World War I, how they bolstered morale on both sides of the fight, and how after World War I it goes into the golden age, as it came into its full force. The heroes that were first called heroes. And then how things changed through World War II and the Silver Age, came about. People with actual technology, actual mystical armor, and how all of a sudden things were changing into real world-spanning threats. Chronoblaster features as a particularly nasty villain who tried to basically turn the world back to ancient times using some sort of time travel powers. And then, of course, through the space race, heroes that actually were able to go out and help Apollo 13 and help bring them home safely. And then it gets up to the Bronze Era, where you actually see people needing to have secret identities. People who actually had their friends and family threatened as villains got nastier. And then it references the heroes that are starting to emerge. Not yourselves yet, but it is definitely referencing folks like you, just coming into their powers now, stepping up to fight the fight that needs to be fought. It's an interesting little display. Okay, so as you make your way through there, let's see here. Aluminum Lad, what do you think of the your competitors' work? It does look fairly impressive.
Yeah. The Hale Corporation did a good job with this.
Hale Corporation, I like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they actually did a good job, but my dad's company does a little bit better, so.
Okay.
So, but they did it. I gotta give them credit where credit's due. I don't know if Dad will like that too much. I hope he doesn't find out, but.
Okay.
Impressive. And then after that, I'm gonna check out, see what games I can sign up for without trying to be too, getting hounded for autographs and everything. So.
Okay.
Or asking for Dad's number so they can get his autograph and bother him at home.
Okay. All right. Well, as you're passing through the atrium again, let's go with our first roll. Anyone who's in the atrium right now, you happen to notice something strange over by the theater, which should be empty right now for at least another half hour. There seems to be almost smoke coming from underneath the doors of the atrium. There's nothing about an effects show supposed to happen there. What do you guys want to do?
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'll start heading that way.
Yeah, so I'm I just started walking where the main entrance was, so I'm actually I'm right at the entrance to a Dream of Heroes, and then I see them. I see Pine Needle running.
Okay.
Over
Yeah,
there.
I never left the atrium, so I'm definitely gonna go check it out.
Yeah, and then I see Nyx and I'm at the Eldegar going over. So then I follow.
Okay.
Just to confirm, wasn't Eldrigar further along?
Could have been coming out of the what was it again? What did I call it? He could have been coming out of the Bronze Age and beyond and seen something.
Okay.
It's fine.
So yeah, him and I probably met then right in the middle.
works.
We want to say I still don't have my costume on yet. I haven't kind of like figured that this is a situation yet to kind of throw on the mask. So I'm approaching hesitantly, letting the other guys go first.
Well, as I'm sure you're used to looking around for places that you might be able to quick change into your costume, there are restrooms nearby.
Yeah.
So at least that's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, as you all start to approach this this theater, something kicks the doors out. They go flying across the atrium, crashing into vendor tables, spilling dice and game cartridges and all manner of things all over the place. People start screaming. And out of the room, you don't know how, you don't know why, but out of the room steps, of all people, Bowser. Yes, the King Koopa himself steps out, large as life and looking disturbingly real. And he just bellows. What would you like to do?
I run to the bathroom.
So, since I'm not really all that familiar with this game, given that I have illusion power, am I able to effectively detect illusion powers? Is that a thing? Is there a role for detect magic?
There isn't necessarily. Generally not, I would think. It's more that you create the illusions yourself. I don't know if there's necessarily any way for you to detect. I mean, you could always assess the situation. That allows you to figure out what's going on.
Well,
Or you
then
could
let's
pierce the
do that.
mask.
I feel like pierce the mask is a little harder, so let's start with assess.
Okay. So as this is our first roll, to assess the situation, you roll 2d6 and add your superior bonus.
Okay.
On a 10 plus, you get to ask 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, you ask 1, and then you take +1 forward while acting on those answers. So you can go ahead and roll.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Spirit. Oh, come on.
Okay. Why don't you tell the crew what you rolled?
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Now, that's not necessarily, I mean, it's not good because you really don't get any answers. But at the same time, we learn more through failure than we do through success. Since you failed, you get to mark 1 off on your potential track. Anytime you roll a 6 or below, you get to mark potential. When you get 5 potential, you get to choose an advancement. It could be unlocking your moment of truth. It could be a new move from a playbook. You do have several options depending on your playbook itself. So this looks real. I mean, like I said, disturbingly real. You really can't tell if it's an illusion, if it's the real thing. You're going to have to pretty much go up there and hit it to find out. Unfortunately, when you do roll a 6 or below, I do get to make a hard move. So this creature, Bowser, he bellows again, and from out of the theater roll, well, they look like Koopa Troopas and Goombas. There's 3 or 4 little turtles, mix of green and red, and a handful of mushrooms come waddling out. It's the weirdest damn thing. And they start harassing people. They're charging at civilians. What are you thinking, Aluminum Lad? Sounds like you want to do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go in invisible.
Invisible. Ooh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
And what I want to do is I want to go try to block Bowser. So I want to use my invincibility, walk around, and just as soon as Bowser takes another step, just pop right in front of him.
Okay. All right. Well, invisibility is not described as one of your abilities, but you're working with some high tech stuff. So tell you what, let's go with an unleash your powers. Roll
Okay.
2d6 plus freak. Let's see if your tech suite can handle this.
Okay. Just set that up. 2d6. Actually, I do have a question with that. I do have it up. So what would I use for the freak? I would use those zeros, and then I would move the counter over.
Wait, you're
On
working on
So what would my freak be? It would be a 0 then, possibly, right?
for the legacy. Your freak is a 0. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So unless you chose to put your +1 from start into there, you would just roll 2d6 flat.
No, I put it in a superior. Okay, so it's just 2d6 flat, and I rolled a 7
Okay.
total.
All right. On a 7 to 9, it works, but it is unstable or temporary. If you want to make it more permanent, then you can mark a condition.
Okay.
Um,
Well, this is only going to be temporary, just to, and then reappear in front of him.
Okay.
So
yeah, you can. In that case, yeah, you can. It doesn't work all that well. You're more of a ghostly outline, more translucent than invisible. So he does see you coming, but you do pop up right in front of Bowser. And he snarls at you as you appear. So you've kind of blocked his way.
What you doing?
He just growls at you, roars really. Eldrigar, what would you like to do? What are
I'm
you
going
up to?
to throw my hands into the air wide and start charging my powers.
Okay, well, there are plenty. Ooh, that is. Okay, so what exactly are you doing? You
So I'm charging my burn.
Okay.
So that should give me 3 burn to hold on to.
Yeah. When you charge your powers, roll plus conditions. You don't have any yet because we just started. On a hit, you hold 3 burn. Very nice. And you avoid marking conditions. Even better. Even though they do conversely help you. So, okay. Yeah. That will definitely work. You got some power to play with now. All right, Pine Needle. You've run into the bathroom. I assume you've got a quick change outfit
Yeah.
that you're ready for this.
Throw it on,
This has happened before.
run back out.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I would like to pierce the mask, see if I can figure out something about this guy.
Okay. All right. Roll plus mundane.
Should I roll on roll 20 or can I roll physically?
Whichever you prefer. Roll 20 is there for ease of use and to make life easier for you guys. If you prefer by hand, go for it.
Gotcha. I wish I rolled a roll 20. Got a 5.
Oof.
Wait,
Okay.
but plus 3 for mundane.
Aha.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
That's not bad. That's an 8,
Eight.
so that's a partial success. All right. So when you pierce someone's mask, you roll plus mundane. On a 7 to 9, you ask one question. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? And how could I gain influence over you?
All right. So how can I gain? Oh no. How could I get this thing to get out of the way of people?
Okay, how could you get him to get out of the way of people? right now, it seems like he's trying to scare people off, cause havoc. He's throwing stuff around. He's basically just making a big show of being there and being dangerous. You think you might be able to distract him if you can be a threat. If you can cause him to focus on you or your fellows, you can probably keep him from attacking the civilians too much.
Alrighty. Then I might have to do that. Right.
Okay.
Should I do that now, or should we let someone else take the lead?
We'll roll on to somebody else who's got something. There's no formal initiative in this game. So.
All right. Well, I haven't blocked in the front. Maybe somebody should get to the sides.
Okay, because don't forget, Bowser's not the only threat here. You do have some Koopa Troopas and Goombas.
Well, yeah, that's why I was saying,
charging
like,
out as well.
that's why I flank from the back end and then literally, like, just try to surround them so they can't move out of that area.
Do the underlings seem to be actively following
Bowser?
Yeah, there you go. Words.
Not so much yet. They seem to be spreading out around. They're not necessarily just right behind him. They're going out and around to try and harass people, it looks like.
Well, when I say following, I mean, do they appear to be following his direction?
Yes, they did seem to come out at his bellow. So,
all right,
they do seem to be under his control. And, I mean, they are same universe after all.
Yeah.
I think I would like to go for an illusion. And see, the question is, do I go as the second Bowser to thoroughly confuse them, or Bowsette? Yeah, I think I'll go try to illusion myself into being a second Bowser.
All right. Roll plus freak to unleash your powers. Okay. All right. So on a 7 to 9, you do it, but it'll either be unstable or temporary unless you mark a condition. Now, conditions we haven't really talked about. There are 5 conditions. Each one has an effect on how things work for you. The conditions are afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, and insecure.
Yeah, I'm going to mark guilty.
Okay. Why?
Because I realize that turning into a second Bowser, while it might take the underlings by surprise and get them to stop doing whatever they're doing, will probably also scare a lot of the patrons.
Okay.
And ultimately, that's not what I'm going for.
Okay, that works.
So I feel a little bad.
Works.
Just a little, though.
All right. That works. We can go with that. So mark guilty. Until you can clear that condition, you will have a -2 to provoke someone or to assess a situation.
Okay.
Okay.
Not worried.
All right.
So I am going to stroll forward, electricity arcing off of me. And I'm going to use Reality Storm to basically force lightning as many of these guys as I can.
Okay. Describe Reality Storm for us. Sounds fun.
Reality Storm, you channel a destructive burst with your powers. Spend 1 burn to directly engage a threat using your powers. Roll plus freak instead of plus danger. If you do, you will cause unwanted collateral damage unless you spend another point of burn. And I am spending 2 points of burn on this.
Okay. All right. Make your rolls there. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and guess marked angry.
Well, no, you don't have to mark a.
No.
On this one, you're directly engaging a threat. It's
Right.
a different matrix. So
Okay.
when you directly engage a threat, normally you roll plus danger. In this case, you roll plus freak. On a hit, you trade blows. On a 10 plus, you pick 2. In this case, on a 7 to 9, since you got an 8, you pick 1. You can either resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
All right. So I'm sorry. Give me those options again.
You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I am going to frighten the opposition.
Okay, and who are you targeting with this shot?
Let's go with Bowser directly.
Okay. All right. So you fire this blast at Bowser. It's a good thing you chose not to cause collateral damage, because this just barely misses Aluminum Lad. But this blast of electricity strikes Bowser directly in the chest, and he bellows in fear and rage because he wasn't expecting this one. And then, seeing as he did not resist or avoid his blows, he is going to retaliate.
Before he does that, though, can I try to grab him from like the legs?
Well, he is going to retaliate. What you could do is you could do something to defend, because normally, since he's retaliating, Eldragar would have to take a powerful blow. What
So
you
let me-
could do is you could roll to defend Eldragar.
That's what I'll do.
Okay, so Bowser actually grabs actually, you know that sign that had all of the schedule for the theater on. He grabs that and he goes to chuck it at Eldragar. But what you can do is you can defend. When you defend someone or something from an immediate threat, you roll plus Savior.
Okay. And I added. Oh, I got a +2 to that. Good. Still 2d6, correct?
Yes, everything is 2d6.
Okay. Oh.
Oof, an 11. Okay,
Uh,
so that's good. So on a 7 to 9, you would end up exposing yourself, but on a 10 or up, you just do it. So you keep them safe, and you get to choose one option. You get to add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition. So recall you have no conditions yet yourself.
Yep.
Do you have influence over Eldragar yet?
I have influence over everybody.
Okay. All right. So you can either take influence over him again, which you would end up shifting his labels, or you can add a team to the pool, which reminds me, of course, I always seem to forget this. We actually do need to go over the team real quick. Normally, when you enter a battle against a dangerous foe as a team, you add 2 team to the pool. And then we have to pick a leader. Doesn't have to be the same leader every time. So let's see. You all kind of went towards it at the same time. Who's going to step up and kind of lead the fight?
I'm busy being another Bowser.
Yeah. Do you want me?
My suggestion would be Aluminum Lad. He kind of stepped up and got right in Bowser's face. He was one of the first ones to head over in that direction to start with.
So I'll probably take the lead on this one then.
Okay. Do you have influence? You have influence over Pine Needle, Nyx, and Eldragar?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the leader
Yeah.
has influence over every teammate, we add another team to the pool. So that brings you up to 3. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. Does everyone have the same purpose in this fight? What's your reason for jumping in here?
I think everybody does is to say. I mean, I know my thing is jump in, save everybody, and eliminate the threat or capture it.
Same here.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Quit getting in the way of my fun.
Okay.
Oh.
Well.
Okay, so Nyx, you're just here to stop him so you can go back to having fun?
I mean, we're gonna stop him either way, right? Just because my
Yeah.
motivation is fun.
Okay, so we'll leave that there then. Does any team member mistrust the leader? Anyone mistrust Aluminum Lad or even anyone else on the team?
Not really.
Nah.
No? Everybody trusts everybody? Good. So that brings us up to 4. And no, it doesn't. Brings up to 4, keeps it 3. Doesn't take one away. All right. And is the team ill-prepared or off balance? It was a surprise, but you were all fairly ready for it, just in case. Well, we'll leave it at 3 then. Okay. So, were you going to add one to the team with this defend roll?
Yeah. Might as well add one to the team. So.
Okay. So, just a real quick explanation of how team works for those listening at home. The team mechanic allows you to spend a team to aid one of your compatriots. You can bring a roll from a 6 to a 7 to make it take it from a failure and make it a success, or you can even take a team to take a 9 to a 10 to make a partial success into a full success. Right now, you have 4 team in the pool. Team members can also spend team to act selfishly if no one's available. When you act selfishly, you can say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates, remove one from the pool, and shift one label up and one label down, your choice. You can use this option after rolling to alter the label you're rolling with. So this way you can boost your rolls one at a time if need be. Okay, so how do you defend Eldragar from this throne schedule post?
So what I do is so I'm right by Bowser, so I see Bowser pick up the sign, and I see him aiming it towards Eldegar. So what I do is I just step right in front of this, and I hold my arms out like this to block him from like throwing it.
Okay, you reach up and you actually smack him right in the hand. It loosens his grip, and this thing goes winging off to the side to strike a support column and crash harmlessly to the ground. Okay, nicely done. You have defended your compatriot.
Yes.
Okay.
I look back at Eldegar. I said, "You all right?"
Yeah, I'm good. And as I say that, I spend the last of my burn to overcharge Aluminum Lad's system, give him a +1.
Nice. Thank you.
Okay. What do you got, Pine Needle?
I kind of wanted to run up to I'm gonna run up to Nick.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
Like, yep.
Sorry, that actually I guess is a reaction. It's supposed to act as whatever roll I give him a +1 to.
All right. I think
Okay.
that roll would have been a 12 then.
Yeah, no.
It wouldn't benefit it, so I'll let you hold on to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I'm gonna run up to Nyx and be like, Nyx, is that you in there? I got a bad feeling about this. These guys are running about, but they're not really doing much, and by the normal books, seems like a distraction of some sort. I'm gonna run over towards the battlefield. It seems like these two got it handled here. Can you run over towards the little tour, see if anything's going on there? Make sure everyone's safe, nothing's happening behind our backs.
Seems reasonable, so I guess I'll drop the illusion because it obviously didn't do very much of anything anyway. And dash on over that general vicinity.
So I'll run one way, you'll run the other.
Okay. All right. So you head in opposite directions.
Wire. I'm using it for the thing. It's for the connection.
Bowser's looking around. He's a little bit confused as to what's going on. But he's also frustrated at what just happened, the fact that his throw didn't work.
No, just
you got a moment here,
just for
Aluminum Lad.
now.
You going to do anything? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to grab him by his legs. And now, what is security doing at this point when they see him?
Well, right now, security is mostly trying to get the people out through the
Okay.
front doors, trying to prevent a massive crush from smothering people.
Is there like any other is there like maintenance workers or anything around that might be, or are they just hiding?
Mostly everybody's just trying to get out of the way. You don't see any other heroes showing up just yet.
Okay.
But yeah, mostly everybody who's working the convention is trying to get people out safely.
Okay. All right. So we're over by that. Okay. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to grab Bowser by the legs and just try to put him down on his onto his shell. So basically, I'm gonna try to trip him, lift him, and put him on the spikes.
Okay. Are you trying to injure him, or are you just trying to essentially disable him?
Disable him so he has a lot of difficulty getting up. I mean, I would put him on his back, but if anybody jumps on him, they're going to get spiked. So that's why I figured put him on his back and then try to hold his legs until somebody else comes along.
Okay. Then I'm going to say let's go with Unleash Your Powers. You're more trying to, you're not trying to hurt him, you're just trying to disable him.
Yes. Powers.
So that's going to be rolling plus freak.
Plus 3. Okay. Which is, I have a 0. Nice.
Okay. So that is a 9. That is a partial success. So you can do it. You can upend him. But at the moment, you can either take a condition to keep him there, or it's going to be temporary or unstable. So he's going to be able to get back up real quick.
I'm going to take a condition.
Okay.
Could someone instead expend a team? Increase that to a success?
I will actually go ahead and boost him instead of spending a team.
Okay. So all right, thank you. Okay, I look over and then, ooh, I did it. A little better.
All right, so that marks it up to a 10. All right, and that should be your last burn, if I recall.
It is, yes.
For the moment, but you can always get more. Okay, so yeah, you pick him up. All of a sudden, your suit feels stronger, and you manage to smack him down, and it seems like some of the spikes on the back of his shell have gotten stuck in the ground for the moment. It looks like it's going to take him a little bit of work to get up. So he's pinned there for the moment. All right. Nyx, what are you up to?
I'm going to that other side of the thing to check around and see if there's anything looking like it's going to start trouble.
Okay. Well, with a quick glance, you can take a look, and down that hallway towards the main galleries, you really don't see anything other than people streaming out. There don't seem to be any threats.
Okay. Then
Everything
I'm going
seems to be coming right out of the theater.
Then I guess I'm going to turn around and head towards the theater.
Okay. What would you like to do as you're heading back?
Can you be more specific as to what I'd like to do?
Well, you've seen that there's no threats on the one side. Everything seems to be focused right in the middle there.
Well, the other boys seem to have it handled in the middle with Bowser, so I'm just going to see if there's anything coming from the theater.
Okay. All right. At this point, you look inside the theater, and right now it looks like some of the chairs may be on fire. One of the doors is a little bit crispy. Almost looks like somebody might have breathed fire on it. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be anything else in there at the moment.
Okay. Then I'm going to turn around and start trying to corral the Goombas.
Okay. How do you want to do that?
How tall are these Goombas?
I'm going to say maybe 2.5 foot tall at most. They're not very large.
But potentially just a little bit too tall to actually jump on top of.
If you get a moderate running start, you might be able to pull it off.
I'm going to do it.
Directly engage a threat, please.
All right. What do I roll?
With directly engage a threat, you roll plus danger.
Okay.
Okay. So on a 9, on a hit, you trade blows. On a 7 to 9, you pick one option. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Let us impress, surprise, and/or frighten the opposition.
Okay. Now, you jumping on a Koopa Troopa or a Goomba?
A Goomba.
Okay. So
like you do.
Yeah, naturally. You jump on this little mushroom, and it doesn't splat so much as crunch.
Oh.
And as you hop off, you actually see the Goomba flicker, and sparks fly, and well, it's almost like it's a hologram because it fades, and there's a little robot, just a little cylindrical robot that you just jumped on and crushed. But unfortunately for you, you didn't choose to resist or avoid their blows. So that robot, I guess you must have hit something important, because it kind of explodes. It's not terrible, not huge, but it is going to force you to take a powerful blow. Now, with a take a powerful blow, you roll plus conditions marked. So each condition adds 1 to your roll. This is the one roll where you want to roll low, because this is actually how hard they're hitting you. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus any conditions marked. I believe you had 1.
Yep.
Okay. So on a partial success, they do hit you. You can choose one option. You have to choose one option. You lash out verbally and provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on someone. You give ground. Your opposition gets an opportunity. Or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
It's going to be the outburst.
Okay, so you lash out verbally. Who do you try and provoke, or who do you take advantage of your influence over?
I'm going to try to provoke whoever is closest.
Take your pick. Everybody's pretty close.
Well, it's going to be either... Because I think Pine Needle was running off to go check something out, right?
Yeah, I was heading towards the battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much going to be either Aluminum Lad or Nyx.
You provoke yourself.
No, shut up. Eldrigar. Yes, I'm going to provoke myself.
That's going to be an awkward roll. Okay. So which one are you going to provoke, and what are you going to say to them?
Oh, do I have to actually direct something at one of them? I thought I could just shout an obscenity.
No, you're basically provoking a teammate to foolhardy action. So you got to shout something and try and. You're actually going to roll to provoke them. to get them to do something foolish. So you could berate them for not getting more directly involved in the fight. You could shout at them to come help you. You have options.
You said this was effectively a robot that I
It
stopped
definitely seems to be a robot, yeah.
on. Okay.
Before it exploded, it was some sort of cylindrical droid of some
Then,
sort.
in that case, I'm gonna yell at Aluminum Lad, be like, "Yo, where's Aluminum Dad? He should be doing something about this."
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right, then go ahead and roll to provoke someone. Roll plus superior.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
So on a provoke, for PCs, on a 10 plus, you get both options. On a 7 to 9, you would only choose one. So basically, Nyx is yelling to Aluminum Lad to have him call Daddy for backup. If you do it, you add a team to the pool. If you don't do it, you mark a condition. Lad.
I'm gonna be like, all right, this is out of my territory, and I hit a button on my suit. Dad, need you at the museum. We got trouble, robots.
Okay.
So
And-
sorry.
Now the question is, does it go to voicemail? Is it that Aluminum Dad is responsive, or is he possibly out on a mission himself?
He's not on a mission, I know that for a fact. So it goes to voicemail. And I'm like, uh-oh. All right, you know what? That was his cell phone. Call home. And then he answers.
Okay.
And I'm like, Dad, what's the voice of a cellular phone when you don't answer it? Get to the museum. Somebody made robots to attack the convention. I'll be right there.
Okay. We'll keep that in mind. All right. That works. Okay. So, let's see here. That's that. All right. Eldrigar. Actually, no. Pine Needle. What are you up to? You're running over to the other side.
Yeah, I've been running towards the battlefield and kind of glance back and see the robot and just think, all right, it's got to be something there. It's got to be that Hale Industries or whatever. So I start running over and seeing if anything looks a bit strange on that side.
Okay. All right. As you get over there, actually, you noticed. You never made it over to this section before, did you?
I was just perusing, so
Okay.
either way.
You glanced in before, and it looked pretty cool. But as you look now, things have definitely changed. A number of these robots, a number of these holograms, they're glitching, as best you describe it. Some of them seem to be spazzing out. Some of them seem to be derezzing. Some of them definitely look like something is going on the back end that's not good. But you don't see anything here obvious that's messing with them. It's not like there's anyone else in there. Most people have fled out the side door.
Are the robots glitching, or is it just the holograms?
It's pretty much the holograms. There's a couple of holographic emitters in the corners, but they seem to be functional. Just things are going wrong with the holograms.
Huh. All right, I'm gonna kind of relay this information back to everyone, and I guess there's not really much else to do over here. I guess I'll come back and see if I can help with the little guys running about.
How do you want to do that?
Well, I've got some bone generation. I got all these holes over my suit. So I'm gonna generate like a spike out of one of those holes. Kind of snap it off and see if I can toss it at one of the Koopas.
Okay. Directly engage a threat.
Alrighty. Let's see. 2d6. Oh, geez.
Plus
That's a
danger.
3. That is a 3. Yeah, it's just a 3.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
Hmm.
So with a 3, there is, unless even if everybody helped on the team, there is no way you could pull that one out of the gutter.
Oh, geez.
Okay. You snap off this spike, which is no worse than normal. You throw it at one of these Koopas, and it must have been just the excitement, the danger, but you miss. And you miss hard. Luckily, you don't hit anyone. But the problem is you do hit a fire extinguisher on the wall. And this dry chemical extinguisher just blasts white powder everywhere. It was a big one too, so it's got powder everywhere.
God.
Everybody's coughing and choking now, and there is definitely a lot of stuff in the air, making it very hard to see what's going on.
My bad.
And a thing happens. Okay.
And those things are not fun to clean up. I had to do
and
that
they
before.
suck to breathe in. It's really bad.
Yeah, a kid actually did that up when I was working at the high school. He actually unleashed one in the hallway.
Yeah, that it burns going in.
It burned like crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Eldregard, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. The world has just gone white. What are you up to?
Let's see.
Now, the thing is, you can use your powers and your abilities without the burn. It gives you boosts to it naturally, but...
So I'm going to... I mean, we've pretty much established that these are robots, right?
At least one of them is.
Yeah. All right. So I'm actually going to try to unleash my powers to see if I can't get an awareness of where everything that has some sort of electrical current going through it is currently.
I like that. Okay. Using your electricity, your elemental manipulation to feel where everything is. Nice. I like it. Roll plus freak.
I got a 9.
Okay. It's either going to be unstable or temporary, or you can take a condition to make it hold.
I am going to.
Or the team can boost him, right?
Yeah, but that's not necessary.
With this one, it's going to be a lot more difficult for somebody to assist with this one, because it's more him feeling through his powers where the electricity sources are.
Fair enough.
So I'm actually going to take the angry condition.
Okay. All right. So you can mark angry. That'll give you a -2 to directly engage a threat, but you definitely have some options still. Okay. You turn your senses inward first, tapping that core of your powers to feel where electricity is. And it's a struggle at first, which makes you annoyed because you got to do this. There's all this smoke and dust in the air, so you have to do this. It's annoying. It's uncomfortable. Not painful, but uncomfortable. And that seems to just give you that little bit of extra that allows you to spread this out, and you can feel, well, you can feel a lot right now. There are 5 small sources of electricity running around on the ground. There's one really big one. And you can actually even feel your teammates. You're not surprised about Aluminum Lad, but you can actually feel kind of where Pine Needle and Nyx are as well. It's almost like you're picking up the bioelectrical charge of their nervous system. It's kind of cool, but you can get a good feel of where everyone is. You could probably even throw a bolt and not have to worry too much about missing and hurting someone.
Okay.
So you think that you could probably direct your teammates if they were to lash out and strike at somebody now.
Alrighty.
Okay, but you have a pretty good battlefield picture at this point.
Trying to think. All right. So, is there anyone that's actually close to any of the enemies right now?
Well, at this point, there's one or two little guys near Nyx. There's one a little bit out of weapon range, hand weapon range of Pine Needle, and the big one is actually, he seems to be using the cover of the smoke to circle around Aluminum Lad.
Okay.
Do I have any reason to believe that Aluminum Lad would have the ability to see through the fire extinguisher?
Like
I mean, it's possible. His tech could have some sort of thermal or something. I mean, this stuff is not exactly great to see or breathe through, but he might. There's a chance. You haven't really seen everything that his suit can do, and it does all kinds of crazy stuff. So,
Well, just in case, I'm gonna shout out to him, let him know that Bowser seems to be circling around him, and then at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and try and charge my burn again.
okay. Roll for it. Roll plus conditions.
That's +1, right?
If you only have the one marked, yes.
That's a 7.
Okay.
So I have to mark a condition on this.
Yep, you pick one.
All right.
And which one do you pick?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Insecure just because I feel like even with my ability to sense everything that's going on, I'm not exactly confident in my ability to lead the team.
Okay. That's fair. Sounds good to me. All right. Let's see. Lad, you just got shouted at that your primary threat is circling around you. What are you going to do about it?
So once the fire extinguisher went off, I immediately hit a button and shielded up. So now
Okay.
I can't, and then I can look around and see, and then I can actually, when Eldrick said it, I start scanning. I start
Okay.
scanning the area.
All right. It's a lot of particulate debris.
But
these guys aren't giving off a lot of heat, so it's going to make it tough to see them. You're going to try and... What do you want to do? Do you want to just try and strike at him? Do you want to try and move out of the stuff? Do you want to...
I'm going to try, if he's surrounding me, so like we're in the back, are we by the wall sort of?
You're still fairly close to the front of the theater, the southern part of the theater.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So he was probably trapped on the wall, so he really can't. He's trying to probably circle, like semicircle around to push me against the wall.
Could be.
So I'm gonna turn myself to face the atrium, where the atrium and the front door were, and then I'm gonna try to swing at him.
Okay.
Swing and then see what I get.
All right. Roll to directly engage that threat. Roll plus danger.
Plus danger. Ooh, that's a -1.
Okay, that's 7.
That's 7.
It's not bad. It's still a hit. You get to pick one. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies, or press, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I'm gonna probably surprise the opposition. What was that last one? It was suppress or
Impress, surprise, or frighten.
I'm gonna surprise him. Like he's not gonna see this coming. All of a sudden, I come and it's like a boom right to the face, and he just like Mike Tyson's punch out, like the glass jaw. Like,
Okay, well, you rock this punch out, and you weren't really exactly sure where he was. You knew he was coming around you, but you managed to connect, and it hits, and it actually hurts a little bit because he's definitely got a stronger jaw than you expected. It's
and
not
then
a
I'm
glass
like,
jaw. And he bellows, and then you hear a weird sound, and then you see some bright light coming at you. He belched a fireball at you. You are going to have to take a powerful blow.
okay,
So roll plus conditions.
all right. What condition would that be? A danger again, or
No, it's a straight roll, and then you add however many conditions you have marked to
which
that roll.
is?
I believe it's at least one.
I think it is 1. Yeah, it's 1.
Okay, so then you roll 2d6 plus 1. And remember, this one you
Yep.
want to roll low, because this is how well he hits you.
Ooh.
Oh, that stings, but at times it's the most fun. All right. On a 10 plus, you choose one. You remove yourself from the situation. You flee, pass out, etc. You lose control of yourself or your powers in a terrible way, or you pick 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Since I'm right by the wall, I just get boom. I get blasted right through the wall. So basically, this fireball just hits me full force, and I go blasting right through the wall and into the theater itself, into the last row.
Okay. But which of those options are you going to take? Remove yourself from the situation, or
I'm like knocked
picking
out.
2? Okay.
So I'm like, I get blasted through, and I'm just like, knocked out.
Okay. The rest of the team, you hear a weird belching noise. You see a small glow towards the front of the theater, and you hear a colossal crash. And Eldrigar, you feel that electrical signature of Aluminum Lad fade a little bit, as it seems like he may have lost consciousness for a moment. Don't worry, we'll come back to you.
So real quick on that 7 to 9, I still got my burn, right?
Yes, you got 2 burn, I believe.
So it doesn't actually say for 7 to 9. It just says on a hit, hold 3 burn. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition. On a miss, hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions.
Okay, then yes, you get 3 burn. My apologies. Don't roll with too many novas. You do get all 3, but you just had to mark a condition and do it. When you miss 6 or below, you only get 2.
All
right.
In that case, I'm going to spend a point of burn to use move, and instantaneously, basically, I'm going to turn into a bolt of electricity and move to Aluminum Lad's side. And I'm going to unleash my power to sort of try to shock him awake.
Okay.
Dude.
He's out cold. He's not in arrest, but okay.
Okay. Tiny shot.
You can try.
Tiny
okay.
shot. I mean, like he's got support systems, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm hearing right now, like like failure, 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 and so that's all. Like when I wake up, that's what I'm going to be hearing: failure, failure, because I'm like out.
Right.
So
You know what? No, I won't try to shock him. I'll just check on him, make sure he's all right.
Good plan. Let's not blow up the teammates.
All right.
and you guys can hear like that, like like you hear like the warning coming from me, and you know,
Any major damage or?
There's definitely some scoring on his chest plate, but yeah, it doesn't look like he's bleeding out. He's just knocked out or kind of had his bell rung for a minute or so.
He's having a nap. Come on, leave the guy alone.
I want to yell something to Eldrigar.
Okay.
I'm just gonna yell, Eldrigar, remember the bus incident? We need you to lose control. Shut everything down.
You really don't want me to lose control.
Shut everything down. Like the bank's losing power, this whole place, shut it down. EMP, whatever you gotta do.
While they're arguing about that, I think I would like to use my psychic weapons to. You said there are 2 or 3 of the little boogers around me.
Yeah, you have a Koopa Troopa and actually 2 Koopa Troopas and another Goomba relatively close by.
Then I would like to use my psychic weapons to mentally pick up the Goomba and throw him as hard as I can into the Koopa Troopas. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not jumping on it.
All right. Yeah, this is definitely directly engage a threat because you're trying to do damage. So, roll plus danger.
Hit it.
Okay, nice, full success. So you pick 2: resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Definitely going to resist their blows.
Okay.
Learning from the last time. The options other than that are create an opportunity.
Yep, create
What
an
does that
opportunity
do?
for your allies. It creates an opening.
Okay.
It's very open-ended. Mechanically, it'll probably give them a +1 to whatever their next roll is.
I think I'm
against the
going to
opposition.
do that.
Okay.
All right, and I am going to basically take a knee and reach down to Aluminum Lad's suit, and effectively, I'm going to pull some of his energy into myself. I'm going to spend 2 burn and overcharge, and take a 10 plus on unleashing my powers to cause a controlled EMP.
Okay. So you see, as you kneel down, Eldrigar, and draw some of the power from his power core, not from him, hopefully,
No.
if all goes well. You see. Now, Nix, how do your psychic weapons and manifestations show up? What do they show up as? Did they manifest as something visible, or is it completely invisible?
At most, you would see like a ripple where there's energy.
Okay. So, a ripple of force. You see it pick up one of the Goombas and chuck it at at one of the troopers, and they both detonate, which the resulting shockwave itself seems to part some of the that chemical suppressant, which itself is starting to filter down to the ground. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to roll.
No,
you're going to make an EMP.
Yep, I'm creating a controlled EMP and overcharge allows me to take a 10 plus.
Okay. All right. You do indeed take. You do indeed rock this EMP. The lights flicker and some of the bulbs above you blow out. There are definitely cries as people's electronics sputter and spark in their pockets. And Aluminum Lad himself gets a bit of a zap as his suit doesn't quite short, because it is hardened against this stuff. You learned from the first time. But it definitely brings you back around as this EMP wave ripples around and jolts everything. There are at least 2 more small concussive blasts as the other Troopa and Goomba kind of pop and sit and spark. And Bowser is actually knocked backwards a little bit by this one. It seems like he stumbles a bit, but he's still in the fight a little bit.
So am I up now? Did we just lose Rob?
Dang it.
Sorry.
Hang on.
He was too strong.
Did
Oh, wait.
Wait.
y'all hear me?
No, you cut
Yeah.
out for a bit.
He came out for
damn.
like 2 seconds.
I swear the system's a little bit buggy. Okay. You are awake now. If you have something you want to do, you certainly can.
So I'm gonna get up and I'm like shaking my head. I'm like, whoa, what the Alderon? What just happened?
I just borrowed a little bit from you.
Okay, well, what was that shock that woke me up?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm up. I want Bowser done. I want him destroyed.
Well, he looks like he's a bit unstable, and it looks like he's lost his support.
Because I'm probably still beat up. I'm gonna be like, we need to get him on his back again, and I yell that so everybody can hear me.
Okay. Pine Needle, you got a move you want to make?
Yeah. Is the kind of like fire extinguisher stuff parted now? Can I see Bowser at this point?
You can see more, yeah. Between the EMP and the shock waves that it caused when the little things popped, and the ones that Nyx took out, yeah, it's mostly parted at this point.
Gotcha. So I'm going to kind of take a deep breath, press my mask kind of deep into my face, and like all the little holes across my costume are gonna start bristling with these little bone spikes as I'm going to use my mask ability, the mask, and swap my mundane label to danger.
Ooh. Going full porcupine, nice.
Oh yeah. With that, I'm going to charge Bowser.
Okay. All right, so you are going to directly engage this threat. Roll plus danger.
Indeed. So roll plus danger. That is a 10.
Nice. On a 10 plus, you pick 2. Just to avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
All right. I'm going to resist their blows and surprise as I'm going to run up, kind of jump up the spikes on their back and kind of grab them around the head, 2 spikes kind of jamming down and try to like steer them back.
Okay. You do exactly that. You clamber up those spikes as if they're just handholds on a ladder. You jam 2 spikes into his neck from either side and yank backwards, pulling him back towards one of the columns nearby. You feel his shell impact that and just manage to push off and jump free from him as you see sparks start to fly. And he fizzles. He stops moving, and the facade fades. He is no longer Bowser, King of the Koopas. He's a decently large robot with two very, very large spikes sticking out of him. And he slumps to the ground, falling.
Alrighty.
Okay. So Bowser is down. The Koopas and the Troopas and the Goombas are down.
Huh.
Who is that masked man?
So-
I'm gonna try and see if there's any civilians hurt.
Luckily, you managed to keep the Goombas and the Troopas away from the civilians. There's a couple minor injuries, but nobody's really badly injured.
Okay.
It's little stuff. They're still filtering people out of the room, but most of them are out.
All right. Is there any? Can we see these robots? Can we identify? Is there anything that says like what industry they're from?
Tell you what, why don't you roll to assess the situation?
All right.
You roll plus superior with that one.
Oh, good thing oops. Just give me a second. And I actually added my +1 to superior. So I was at a 0, and now I am at a +1 for that.
Okay.
So I just re-roll. And I rolled a 7.
Okay, you got a 7, so you get to ask 1. What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the greatest danger? Who here is most vulnerable to me? And how can we best end this quickly?
I'm proud. What was the choice again? I'm sorry.
What here can I use to blank? Very open-ended one. What here is the biggest threat?
Okay.
What here is in the greatest danger? Who here is most vulnerable to me? And how can we best end this quickly?
I'm probably going to use how can we best end this quickly.
Okay. Well, you stopped.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I would suggest the what here can I use to blank, because it's so open-ended. You could say what here can I use to determine where these robots came from.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Kitty. Okay. Yeah, then I will use that one.
Okay. So you think you might be able to crack these guys open. Bowser's still in decent shape. He didn't explode. Most of the other one exploded pretty well, they're really in pieces more so than whole. But Bowser's still generally intact. You think that you might be able to interface your tech with theirs and possibly get a read on who or what is controlling them or was controlling them.
All right. So I'm going to probably see what I'm going to use my tech then to see what we can get.
Okay. Unleash your powers and add a +1 for acting on the answer. So you roll plus freak. Oh, even better.
Oh, and that would have actually freaks out of 1. So that's actually pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You pull an interface device out. You tap into this thing, and it wasn't acting on its own. This is not a device that has free will. It's not sentient in and of itself. It had commands. It had a directive. It was told what to do.
Well,
there is definitely somebody behind this. It's not a major corporation. It's not a Hale Corp device. It is not your father's company either. This is not something stolen. In fact, this that doesn't make much sense. This looks like it was. This has got the signature of the Technomaster. This is the guy that attacked the gaming convention last year. Doesn't make sense. He should be in jail still. Well, jails here are kind of like Arkham Asylum in Gotham. They have a tendency to accidentally let people out without. Yeah, people get out all too often.
All right. My video just crashed for a second, so.
Well, the good news is you're still here audio-wise. So.
Yeah, I'm here audio-wise, so I did not leave.
Okay. But yeah, you can tell that this looks like it's the work of the Technomaster. And last year, you remember hearing about this? He was after some of the tech that was running all of the games as part of the convention. It was one master server, a supercomputer that was running all of the old classic games through the different consoles. So, that was his motivation last year. He's always out for more tech, new fancy shiny hardware. If that gives you any hints.
Yeah, I actually just figured it out. He was after Hale's tech.
Seems like it. What's running like the whole Hale tech, like the whole battlefield area?
That's Hale. That's Hale. That's Hale Technologies. That's
Is there anything like a central computing system or some sort of supercomputer running that whole thing?
It would track. You didn't think those poles, those what did I call them? The holographic emitters. You didn't think they were strong enough to. You're there and back again.
No, it was just the still. It was still the still picture.
Oh, okay. You didn't think the holographic emitters themselves were strong enough to handle all of the computations that it would require for all of those dozens and dozens of units. You'd have to think that there are going to be some sort of master computers, probably somewhere in the back, away from people. They're not going to put that kind of tech out where people can touch and poke and press buttons when they shouldn't. So, while it's not shown on any of the maps that you have access to, there is, towards the back of the building, a storage area where they normally keep the old displays, stuff that's been rotated out, and other supplies. It's just a big warehouse area.
So, real quick, what do we know about the Technomaster's powers?
He's, in a lot of ways, he's similar to Aluminum Lad. It's all technology based. He does like to specialize in robotics. Thank God he hasn't acquired any kind of nanotech yet. But any kind of technology he can get his hands on and use to prove that he is the best, that's what he's after.
So does he generally like to, I guess, access stuff like this remotely, or does he like to be on site?
From what you've heard of him, generally he's not a remote person. His tech doesn't have that kind of range generally for control.
Are any of the Wi-Fi devices still active after my pulse?
Not much. Okay. There's a couple farther out, but yeah, there's not much right now.
I'm going to see if I can sense any Ethernet that's running over PoE.
I mean, there's definitely some wiring in the building, but a lot of circuits are fried right now.
Okay, so is there any sort of network communications running around right now? hard line or?
There's a little bit, yeah. Seeing as you already used your senses, used your powers to sense things, we'll say that's we'll let that continue. You can definitely feel some of the stuff. There is some hardened equipment, it feels like. It's got a similar feel to Aluminum Lad's suit. There's some stuff in the northwest corner of the building, part of the warehouse stuff, and some other things scattered around. But the biggest collection of it is in the northwest corner, kind of behind the battlefield.
From what we know of this particular villain, would he be watching the carnage or would he be actively trying to get what he's after while ignoring the carnage, let the carnage do its distraction work?
Odds are he's just trying to use the distraction to give him a clear access to what he's looking for. He's not really he's not going to be actively watching it. He's just using it as a distraction to get what he wants.
And I'm assuming that Aluminum Lad shared his insight as to the fact that this is obviously his stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I told everybody that this is the Technomancer stuff. I guess he got out of jail, but he would be definitely attacking Hale because he wants the new latest thing. So
Then in that case, I'm gonna start booking it over towards the hail demonstration thing.
Real quick, when we're not in combat, do we have to roll anything to use our powers or?
Anytime you're looking to unleash your powers, combat or no, you'd need to roll generally. Some things, like if you've done it before, if it's something that seems simple, you're not going to have to roll. But if you're looking to stretch your wings a little bit, yeah, you will.
Okay. So basically, I realize we're all headed towards the northwest section at this point, but I do want to try to get there as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So what I want to do is try to tap into one of the hardened lines and essentially use it to transport myself over there.
Okay. All right. So essentially, you kind of want to use that move,
basically.
Flare.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you've got the burn for it. It only takes one. So I guess you've got. What you used overcharge the last time.
I used.
And you got. So you should
have. No,
have.
I used move and overcharge, so I need to charge my powers real quick.
Okay. Yeah. With that particular one, seeing as it's one of your flares, that one you would definitely need to.
So that's a 12.
Yeah, you rack up 3 without too much of a problem. Yeah, you definitely could take a quick trip through either the power or network connections, and get over there without too much difficulty.
Yep. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Well, before I do it, I'm going to just let the team know, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go ahead of you.
All right.
Okay.
So you're going to take the lead on this one then?
Just try to get on the other side of this guy as soon as possible. That way we can come at him from both ends and he can't escape.
Okay.
Okay, so you're headed towards the hardened stuff in the warehouse area or into the because there is a little bit of hardened over in the
back.
In the battlefield area. So which one are you headed towards?
If our reasoning's correct, he's looking to get some of the hail technology stuff, right?
That's the general consensus you seem to come to.
So that's where I'm heading.
Well, didn't
Okay.
I check out the Hailtech area and not see anything?
You did go in there. You saw that things were definitely janky, but there was nobody obviously in there when you looked. I mean, that's where the emitters were.
Yeah.
But
Should
things
we-
were definitely glitching when you
Should
were
we
in there.
maybe split up? Half of us check the back, half of us check the front? I don't know if that's a good idea here. But might let us cover some ground quick.
I guess that would work.
As a team, do we have any sort of communications devices?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had cell phones, you toasted them. It's the third one this week, dude. Not cool.
Yeah, man.
You guys literally asked me to do it.
Yeah, we did, and it got me up. So you know what?
Sending him a Verizon bill.
We'll just charge it to Hail Tech. Let them pay for it.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yes. Does that mean we're sticking together?
I think maybe splitting up might work though.
Then how should we divvy up the team?
I mean, I think Aluminum Lad should take one team to the other side, and the other someone else should come with me, because at the very least, Aluminum Lad and I should have some remedial means of communicating with each other.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, because of your powers, you both have the ability to do things involving mechanical type things, whereas Pine Needle and I kind of don't.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you do have a way of communicating, Nix. You have illusions, right?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could kind of send an illusory bat or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All
Then,
right. I guess we
I'll
could
head
go
over to
two.
Aluminum. We can head to the back.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So I think the back would probably be more. Wait. So what was in the back again? I'm sorry. That was where all the big techie stuff is, right?
You figure the mainframe and any processing hardware is going to be in the back warehouse.
So that's probably
Probably
where I would
first.
go then.
Right.
I would go into the back warehouse. So who is going to be coming with me then?
I'll follow.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys head through the. You actually see a staff entrance, and it's no big thing to try and force the door. You're more than strong enough to pop it easily. You're probably gonna have to replace the push bar, but you know, small factors. They have insurance for that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you look around, and yeah, you don't see anything straight away.
Okay.
I mean,
So
there's a lot of stuff around. What do you want to do?
try to find the back area where all the servers would be and everything. I think that would be where to attack, unless he came from the stage. All right, I'm thinking ahead. You know, that's all right. Yeah, let's find this big server that Hail Tech has been using.
Sounds good.
Okay. You head over towards there, towards that west side of the building where everything generally was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. You do hear something. Almost sounds like whirring, like servos and and things of that nature. You hear it coming from up ahead. There's a modular dividing wall set up, just to keep things sectioned off. As you pass some old displays that were taken off the floor. You can hear something from up ahead. You're not really sure what it is.
Okay.
Can I sneak around and see if I can assess the situation?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and assess the situation.
Roll plus superior. Ooh, that is a 6.
Okay. All right. Then mark potential. That's all of, I think, the second potential, maybe third we've marked all day. You guys have been rolling really well. Okay.
Yeah, even for getting hit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because if they do miss that hit, that does count towards your potential. So unfortunately, the one place you wanted to, you haven't been.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't. You try and sneak around. You're trying to keep yourself hidden from whatever's on the other side, but you can't quite get that hidden without with getting what you want to see. You can't see around this properly while still staying hidden. So unfortunately, you really aren't able to tell too much about what's going on behind there, but it kind of becomes a moot point, because you feel the ground shaking a little bit, and you just get a hunch. You dive out of the way, and all of a sudden this wall gets knocked over, this modular dividing wall, and there is an 8-foot mech, bipedal, 2 arms, 2 legs, claws on either hand, and a glass cockpit in the chest. And you can see a person inside in looks like a flight suit, and strapped onto its back is a rather large cylinder with the prominent logo of Hail Corp slapped on the side. So
Oh, boy.
you think you found the Technomaster.
The Technomaster is working with Hail Corp. Oh boy.
Well, no, the mech itself doesn't have the Hail Corp logo. The cylinder strapped to its back,
But
latched to it.
that gives me the thinking that the Technomaster is working with Hail Corp.
Okay.
Just because you see, if I'm looking into anything and I see one person, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, this is lashed hastily to the back of it. It's like ratchet straps holding this cylinder, this probably the mainframe, to the back of this thing.
All right. Well, it's definitely the Technomaster, though.
Yeah,
it's basically trying to steal something.
Yeah, it's okay. Or this might have been Hail Corpse and he's stealing. Okay. I think I figured it out. All right. I say, can he hear us through this glass or no?
Probably.
Possibly. All right.
I mean, you can hear through your suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I assume the Technomancer is an adult rather than a teenager?
Yeah, he's an adult.
One would hope that an adult can at least come up with the same technology as a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a guarantee. There are some really dumb adults out there, but one would think if he's been around long enough to become a villain that's gone to jail that he would be able to.
Well, one would also hope that, using the name Technomaster, he would have some sort of mastery of technology.
I have a comment, but I'm not going to go there.
Am I
Yes.
hidden, by the way?
You don't know if he's noticed you.
All
It
right.
didn't. It didn't seem malicious that he was trying to knock this thing down on you. You just kind of knocked the wall down to get through it.
So I communicate to Eldegar and I tell him, we got company. Technomaster is here in the back.
Alrighty. Now, I don't know if I would have the control or even if the ability to take Nyx with me on my movement.
You'd wager probably not.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to use my powers to enhance her movement abilities.
Okay.
This seems risky.
Stimulate the muscles a little bit.
Giggity.
Oi. This is supposed to be relatively child friendly.
All I said was
At least
giggity.
PG-13, all right?
Family Guy's on TBS, so yeah.
Yeah.
At 8
All right.
o'clock at night, so.
So how do you want to try and
I'm done.
well, Eldrigar and Nyx, do you want to try and go through the same way the others went through? Do you want to try and just make your own entrance?
Well, I mean, I'm going to use my movement to get there as soon as possible, but like I said, I want to increase her movement as much as possible. Get her there fast.
Could she use an illusion possibly to have her stay and have the illusion go over while she's walking, so you don't maybe have to increase?
I mean, I could make it look like I'm there, but the illusion really isn't going to be able to do very much other than stand there and look like a bad Hot Topic model.
You threw that Goomba with your psychic powers. Could you kind of reverse that? Almost throw yourself. See if you can.
Yeah,
Flop.
I mean, throwing yourself through a wall would probably hurt.
Yeah.
Throwing a psychic weapon through a wall could be viable.
I mean, in theory, I could bust a hole in a wall so that way I don't have to walk around, but realistically, I feel like A, the property damage, and B, the energy expenditure wouldn't be worth it when I could just run.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a delinquent, remember. Property damage is not, and people are insured. Halcyon City Construction Corporation is very good at what they do. This place will be back up this afternoon.
One would hope. They have teenage superheroes running around, so.
But think about it. The more damage we cause, the longer it's going to take for them to put this whole thing back together. Ergo, the longer it's going to take before I can go back to having fun.
Yeah, but we're in the battleground area. This is Hell Corp's area.
I don't care.
Destroy it. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't, but I don't have any particular affiliations to or against them, so I'm not going to...
They could just block off this area and everybody can go back to having fun.
This place will be back up and running probably before 1 o'clock. It's maybe 10:45 now. You could easily go through a wall without too much trouble.
Okay, let's look at this map here. Where am I currently?
You are in the battleground. Somewhere.
Where is it on this map?
Upper left corner.
Upper left.
And where are my friendos?
We're in the back
Eldrigar is
area.
with you probably. The other ones are probably on the other side of the border where there is no picture to the north.
So where the battleground is like, let's just pretend that like there's like a little staff area over there, and that's where we are in like a server room area.
So would it be just one wall that I'm busting through?
Probably.
Yeah.
Screw it.
So I'm going to use my movement to peer in the server room.
Okay. And
I'm a
Nyx,
bust a wall.
yeah, just go ahead and unleash those powers.
Okay, unleash the powers. Do that
Less freak.
with freak, which is nothing. So, yeah, that didn't work.
Now, hold on. I do believe Eldragar said he was going to give you a boost.
Yeah, so that gives a +1, so it's a 7.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, a 7 is a partial success. So you can mark off that burn. And okay, you can either take a condition to make it stable and sturdy, or if you don't mark the condition, you can get through, but it's going to do a bit more damage than you expected, and that wall might come down a little more than it should.
Yeah, let's do it.
Marking the condition or just making it unstable?
Kablowy.
Kablowy it is. Okay, you blast a hole with a wave of psychic energy and leap through, and as you do, this wall just continues to fall down around you, and it well, luckily it falls away from you, more towards the battlefield, but it does, well, it crushes at least one of the emitters from Hail Corp.
My bad.
Was I on
Yeah.
the other side of that wall?
No, you were the other direction,
Oh, good.
No,
and
you
it
and
fell
I.
towards the battleground.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Well,
it fell
luckily it
back.
didn't.
It fell back inwards.
Yeah, it fell
Towards the
back
battleground.
inwards towards the battleground and away from the storage space behind.
You definitely heard or saw a wall explode, though.
Oh yeah, we definitely heard it.
Yeah, everyone is aware that you're there now. So, it's what it is. All right. So, the Technomaster is there. He seems to be looking back and forth between at least 3 of you. Who wants to do what?
I have an idea, but I want to see if somebody else goes first.
I'm going to go ahead and charge my burn again.
Okay. Go for it.
7. Mark another
Okay.
condition. So I'm going to go with guilty because in the process of charging my burn, I may have destroyed some of Hellcorp's equipment.
Okay. All right. That works. Some of the equipment definitely sparks. Okay. Pine Needle, Nyx.
I am just gonna sink down a little bit more in my hiding place. Hopefully, he doesn't see me. Maybe I can get a jump at him if he does anything to any of my teammates. But I'm gonna stay still for the time being.
Okay. All right.
I think I'm gonna pierce the mask.
Okay. Roll plus mundane.
1. God, where's the thing?
Okay. 10 plus, you ask 3. What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? Or how could I gain influence over you?
So I'm gonna do. What are you really planning? What do you intend to do? And how can I get you to knock this nonsense off?
Okay. All right. As you look over this robot in the as the dust settles from this wall falling, you feel that he's done most of what he's looking to do. He was looking to distract everyone and steal this technology. It would be useful to him. based on the robots that you've already seen, and the fact that it is shiny new tech. This is definitely what he's generally after. He intends to escape and wreak more havoc on the city eventually. But he's looking to get out of here. And what was the third one you wanted? How could I get your character to
knock this nonsense off?
Stop it off. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you just let him go, he won't destroy anymore. He's got what he wants. He just wants to leave now. I mean, he's probably not going to give this tech up without a fight. So I can barely hear you next.
Who wants to punch this moron?
I have something else to do.
Jeez.
What you got?
I'm gonna use my eye beams just to focus not on him directly, but just on just right above more on this thing.
You trying to do damage or just what are you looking to do with it?
I'm trying to damage it, but not damage him. Just like damage the big 8-foot tall thing he's in.
Okay, so you're looking to do damage to his exosuit. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Wreck his mech.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Then directly engage a threat.
Okay. So that's D6 plus
2d6 plus danger.
Plus danger.
Okay. So, on a 7 to 9, it is a hit. You get to pick one. Resist or avoid their blows. Take something from them. Create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Create an opportunity for my allies.
Okay. All right. So you hit him with this, and sparks fly where your eye beams start to cut into his mech. But as you do this, he growls out of speakers from the front of it. You blasted little heroes, get out of my way. And he takes a big, powerful clawed swing at you. Take a powerful blow.
Okay, so that is...
You will roll plus conditions.
Okay. So 2d6 plus... I don't actually have any conditions.
Thought you had one before.
Yeah.
No, I didn't take it.
No? Okay.
No, I remember that earlier. I didn't take it because I got the power boost.
Okay, yep. All right, then 2d6. Okay.
Another
it is
7.
a 7. All right, choose one. Because he's going to hit you. You can lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition. Give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
What was the one with the teammates again?
You lash out verbally. You can either provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition.
I'm gonna shout at a teammate. I'm gonna probably shout out at Pine Needle.
No.
Okay. What do you shout at? What are you trying to provoke him to do?
Pine Needle. Attack low. Attack him from low. Let's get him off his feet. Let's get him down onto the ground.
Okay.
Man, that was my plan.
Roll to provoke. So 2d6 plus superior.
Plus superior is 2d6 plus. There it is. Nice.
Okay. So on a 10 plus, if Pine Needle attacks, we add 1 to the team. Team pool has not been depleted yet. And if they don't, they'll mark a condition. So,
I'll attack.
okay. And since on his attack, Aluminum Lad did create an opportunity when this guy swung at him, he's swinging with the wrong hand, so you have a blindside shot at him. You will roll +1 on your directly engage or unleash your powers. So
I'm going to directly engage. Pull another. Actually, I'm gonna jump at him, kind of curl up into a ball, and just go full porcupine. Try to just slam into the mech.
okay.
So that
All
is-
right.
Ooh, okay. That is total a. You say I get +1?
You get 2d6 plus danger +1.
That's 13.
Ooh, nice. All right. Then you
Nice
get to
roll.
pick 2. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten.
I'm going to surprise him, and I'm going to, as I kind of roll, try to snap that harness and pull the entire kind of thing away from him that he's trying to take.
Okay, so you're going to impress, surprise, or frighten, and take something from it. Okay. All right. Yeah, you do it. You roll in. One of your spines slashes at the ratchet straps that are holding this cylinder on the back of the mech, and it falls free and rolls away. You smack him right behind the left knee, and the mech falls to the ground. Unfortunately, it falls on you. Take a powerful blow.
Oh, geez. All right. So I have no conditions, luckily. So.
Okay.
Ooh. All right. That's an 8.
Okay. Same options as before. Lash out verbally and provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence. Give ground and they get an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I'm gonna try to struggle past that pain, but I am very afraid now and feeling a bit hopeless.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. A mech did just fall on you. That's not good. Okay.
I'll get you. Don't worry.
Okay.
So to confirm, the mech is on his back on top of Pine Needle?
Yep.
More so, not so much on its back, more on its knees, and kind of fell a little bit onto him, more like crouching on him almost. He can get out. He's not pinned, but it definitely bounced him around a little bit.
Is there anything that's obviously metal in this area?
It's
yeah.
a server room.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a server room. It's a storage room.
Okay. Let me
but
let me clarify. Is there anything like support structure wise that's obviously metal?
Well, there's some trusses up above. It's just exposed beams. There is at least 1 or 2 metal lolly columns nearby. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take the opportunity to overcharge and take 10 to unleash my powers and essentially create a static net that lifts him up and just attaches him to the ceiling beams.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting play. All right. So that should be. You have what? 1 burn left at most?
Yes, I have 1 burn left.
Okay. So you do that. This static, somewhat tenuous. This is a heavy mech. It's going to hold in there for a little bit, but not for too long, especially if you can grab onto something and exert some real force against you. But yeah, you can definitely do that. You hear him out of the speaker say, I didn't want to have to do this, but you forced my hand. Pests. And one of the hands splays open, and a small rocket seems to point out of the palm of this claw. You see, it looks like it's aimed at one of the old displays nearby. It looks like it's the display of Steel Hands Lewis. He was Halcyon City's second official hero. He was the first African American hero they had. When he used his powers, his fists actually turned into steel gray boxing gloves. And he was a World War II hero. He's actually got part of the display is an armor plate from a Panzer tank that has been practically turned inside out with a boxing glove imprint in the center of it. So, yeah, he's got it aimed at that.
Can I try to defend it?
You can indeed. How would you like to do that?
Well, I have a little ability here called I'll Save You. So I can defend a loved one. And although that's normally a person, my guy has looked up to heroes for a long time, and seeing this kind of little artifact in danger, representing one of his favorites, can I instead use that ability for this? If not, I can also roll normally.
It's kind of stretching loved one. If you'd aimed it at one of your teammates, I could kind of see that, but it is a series of inanimate objects for someone. Even though you do love heroes, I just don't think loved one stretches quite that far.
Gotcha.
But you definitely could. You definitely could just roll a normal defend.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to like throw a spike out, see if I can almost like move the arm with it, kind of throw it off its aim.
Okay.
That is a 12 total.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So on a 12, you definitely succeed on that one. You can either add a team to the pool, clear a condition. Hard to take influence over someone you protect when there's not actually someone there, but can take influence over the museum, because I'm sure somebody's watching the closed circuit cameras.
I think this act is gonna make my hopelessness kind of disappear as I realize.
Wouldn't the cameras been destroyed though with the EMP?
Yeah, and that's going through my mind.
I thought we determined that it hadn't quite gotten this far out, that there was still a fair amount of stuff still functioning.
Also, I would point out that this is a server room. It's almost certainly hardened.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
the warehouse area was far enough away that you probably would be okay. Someone could conceivably be watching. But yeah, you can definitely clear that condition, no problem. Because you throw this spike, it actually, before the rocket fires, this spike jams itself in the palm of the hand, and the rocket is blocked, actually, from firing.
So at the same time that he throws his spike, I'm not going to have time to charge any more burn, clearly, so I'm just going to use the one that I have left to use Reality Storm and cause the basically engage the rocket directly with my powers and cause it to blow up in the mech's hand.
Y'all keep taking my moves.
I'm also.
Well, Pine Needle, I don't think you're quite in the blast zone. I believe you threw this at it because this thing is hanging from the air.
I think I'm in the blast zone, though, right?
Well, I mean,
this thing is up in the air.
Oh, it's up in the air now. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah.
So just for funsies, Would psychic weapons also include a psychic shield?
I'm going to say no.
Damn.
And I got an 11 on that roll.
+4.
Yes, because I'm sorry. No, you're right. So it's actually 10. My bad.
Okay, I was going to say no stack can go above 3, and I don't think we had a +1 to ongoing.
Yep, you're right. My bad.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can definitely blast that. Okay. So that directly engages. You get to pick 2.
Okay.
Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Let's go with take something from them and frighten the opposition. I'm going to take the rocket from them.
Okay. Yeah, the rocket explodes and takes the hand with it. Fortunately, the hand goes spiraling away and smashes into several of the displays nearby, sending costumes and equipment donated to the museum by heroes and their families after their passing, sends it sprawling all over the place. You'd wager at least some of it has been irreparably damaged.
Don't worry
Okay,
about
so
that.
you said take something from them and impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Also, one of the claws from that hand does come winging itself at you. Take a powerful blow, please.
Okay. So that's plus conditions.
Yep. Plus conditions marked.
8.
Okay. Yeah. A 7 to 9. You choose one. Lash out verbally, provoke a teammate, or use your influence to inflict a condition. Give ground. They get an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
So can we inflict a condition on the NPCs?
You would have to have influence over them.
Okay.
And right now, you do not have influence over the Technomaster.
Okay. All right. So what were the others again? Let's see.
Provoke a teammate to foolhardy action. Give ground. They get an opportunity, or struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions. Now, that would give you, if you do mark 2 conditions, you are not out of the fight yet, but the next condition you would have to mark, you would have to either pass out, flee the field.
I am going to give ground.
Hold on, question. Would what he is doing qualify as a destructive action?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it actually his move does specify that unless you use another burn, it causes unwanted collateral damage.
Yeah, I'ma use my delinquent move of Troublemaker and give him a +2 from the team, but it only costs 1.
The problem is team doesn't work that way. With taking a powerful blow, you could defend him conceivably, but yeah, adding 2 to that roll would not help.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm going to give ground.
Okay. All right. So you give ground. As you dive out of the way of this claw before it hits you, that static net that you were holding him up with falters, and the mech crashes to its feet on the ground. He is no longer held up and restrained.
Okay, then in that case, I'm going to attack with a psychic feat.
Okay.
While he's still, unbalanced from being dropped from the ceiling.
Okay. Directly engage that threat.
Okay, do I have anything from that? Boom.
Okay, nice. Okay, on the 10 plus, you pick 2. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I'm going to resist and also create an opportunity.
Okay. So, how do you attack him? What form does your psychic weapons take?
It's going to be kind of like a giant disembodied leg sweeping his legs.
Okay. All right, that definitely takes him by surprise as a leg at least as big as his mech's own sweeps out at his legs. He's not able to take another swing at you as you do this, but he does seem to hit some buttons inside as he struggles to get back to his feet. And you'll actually hear that Bowser robot, or what used to be Bowser, kind of stumble through the hole in the wall, or over the rubble. It still looks like it's in terrible shape. Looks like a stiff breeze could probably knock it over, but it is there.
All
Because
right.
he has summoned the fallen.
Those bells.
All right. Which direction is the Technomancer? He's on his back or is on his stomach?
He's on his back.
All right.
And
So
he's struggling to get up with one ruined hand.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump up on his leg, jump up and smash, like do like a jumping like a Superman punch right to his right to where his where he is, his little
The canopy?
canopy, yeah.
Okay.
To try to break that.
All right. You trying to get at him? At the person behind it?
Yep.
Okay. Let's go ahead and unleash your powers.
All
with
right.
that one. That sounds more like a... You're not really necessarily doing damage. You're just trying to overcome an obstacle to get at the man behind the mask, so to say.
All right. So that is +1 then, right?
Plus freak, yes.
Plus freak, so that's a 0 then. Oh boy.
Okay. All right, just a reminder, y'all have 5 in the team pool. So if one of you wants to help out, you definitely could use a team to assist.
I'll assist.
Okay.
Same question regarding Troublemaker.
Look that one up again. Troublemaker.
When you help a teammate through destructive, criminal, or rule-breaking actions, you can give them a +2 instead of +1.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change. It would be more effective if you had a 5, but either way it works. You can certainly use that move. How do you want to use it?
Well, so this would bring him up to a 9. So if...
no, we bring him up to a 7.
well,
I'm sorry, an
It's
8.
a 6. An 8, yeah, an 8.
Yeah, it goes
but
from
isn't
6.
Pine Needle also assisting, or can only one person assist?
Multiple people can assist. A 9 would not change the equation. It would still be a partial success.
Right, but if Eldrigar also assisted...
I mean, it would still only get up to a 9 with the 3 of us.
No, then it
No?
would be a 10.
With hers, you could conceivably use 3 team out of the pool. All 3 of you help to boost it 3, and then with Nyx's Troublemaker,
It would boost it to a 10,
causing
right?
damage, it would
Okay.
boost it to a 10.
Yeah, then let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys haven't used much teams. You had 5 in the pool, so that would bring you down to 2.
That's fine.
Okay.
And yeah, through a combination of a zap from Eldrigar, Pine Needle using one of his spikes to kind of jam it into the seal at the edge, and then Nyx creating a psychic crowbar, we'll say, and reveling in the destruction. Jamming it all underneath allows Aluminum Lad to get his fingers inside the seal and just rip this canopy right off and send it flying into the background where it crashes down and sounds expensive.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I like this. So now I have the two options, which are
With Unleash Your Powers, you overcome an obstacle, which is the canopy to get at him, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. You're not actually doing damage to him, so it's not a directly engage, but instead of having that canopy open a little bit and have it snap back down on you, or having to take a condition, you have ripped this thing clean off, and he is exposed.
okay.
I
All right.
am going to go ahead and charge my burn again.
Okay. Roll it up.
9. Ugh.
Okay. So 3 burn, but 1 more. What have you got left?
I've got hopeless and afraid.
Okay. I mean, you're getting pretty close to the end of your rope when it comes to your powers. You're feeling kind of beat up. This burn is definitely taking it out of you. So either one could work.
Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with hopeless.
Okay. All right. You definitely get the feeling that if he pulls too much more out of his bag of tricks, you may not have enough left in the tank to continue this fight. So that makes sense. All right.
And then basically in a desperate move, I'm going to use 2 burn, Reality Storm, and essentially pick up what's left of the Bowser bot with electricity and slam it into this guy's open cockpit.
Oh, I like it.
Wait.
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 Okay. Time out. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure we get this real clear. You are going to pick up the Bowser bot with a bolt of electricity and slam it into the cockpit?
Yes.
Open.
Like into the dude strapped into the seat in the cockpit?
Yep. Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I got an 11.
Oh, Lordy.
in this game.
Danger, Will Robinson.
So if you
Danger.
can ask
Will.
questions.
We are
There's no
treading
fair
dangerously
way to
close
win
to
this game.
very
Could we try
painful
and-
places.
Notably me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him a high five.
You get a little bit of a zap. Okay, so that's a directly engage. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. I can give you that much.
Clearly, someone has been spending entirely too much time with Nyx.
Yeah, I'd wager. Okay. Which 2 options would you like to pick? As you smash this robot and its master together with great force and impact. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, hopefully not their life, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, frighten, or crush your opponent.
So I am going to avoid any potential blows, and I am going to essentially, if this counts, take away his cockpit's control mechanism by destroying it.
Okay, so you less want to smash it into him and more want to smash it into the cockpit mechanisms?
Yes.
I get
Okay,
what he's doing.
that's less villainous. That's definitely less villainous. Okay, we can work with that. You send this robot barreling into the cockpit, and through that, what lingering connection you have to the electrical area, you feel a spike as the Technomaster, as his heart skips a beat as this thing comes crashing into him. But thankfully for your reputation, it doesn't crush him like a bug. Your aim is more than sufficient to smash it into the machinery around him and not kill this villain, seeing as you are not someone wearing a skull-shaped armor plate on your chest.
Yet.
Yeah, his yeah. The potential is there, it definitely seems, but it definitely smashes the control mechanisms on this mech. And you can practically feel his eyes go wide as this happened, even though you can't really see them through his mask. Yeah.
Hey, Rob?
Yes?
Hey, just chiming in real quick. The closing ceremonies start at 1:30, so we got about until 1:25, just depending on how much more you got planned for this.
They've pretty much wrapped up the big bad
Okay.
almost entirely.
Yeah. I mean, if it wraps up soon, that's fine too, but at least just wanted to make sure that we kept an idea of the time.
Yeah. No, I'm keeping an eye on it, I promise. We're just about done. Okay, so yeah. All right. Yeah, his cockpit is pretty well destroyed. He is decently pinned. What would anyone like to do?
I'll try to make sure he's alive and pull him out of there.
Okay. Yeah, he is definitely struggling against. He's trying to get his restraints, his seatbelts undone to try and get out and scramble away.
So I have a question. I guess I'm still like right by where I ripped open the cockpit then, right?
Yeah, you're kind of standing on the waist of it. This thing
Okay.
crashed into you a little bit below your feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent enough burn to not cause any damage to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I caught the second burn being used to prevent excessive collateral damage. Otherwise, you would have taken that one half in the chest. But yeah,
right.
no,
Okay. All right.
you were definitely okay with that one.
Yeah. Pioneer,
all right,
I think, wants to go.
Yeah.
Get him out.
Yeah, he's still flailing about a bit, Pine Needle. So, yeah, if you're looking to subdue him, why don't you go ahead and directly engage the threat and see if you can see if he causes any other hassles while this happens.
So, that is a 12 total.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity, or impress, surprise, or frighten. At this point, yeah, you're looking at probably just resist and avoid, I assume, and take their freedom from him.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. You hop up on the edge of the canopy frame, and you can put a spike to his chest, just tapping it there, and he will stop and look up, and well, something smells funny. He should have worn his brown pants, but
Ew.
I'm not dragging him after. That's your job.
he says, all right, I'll stop. God almighty, just keep them away from me.
Well, they're gonna keep us away from you.
Is there any police presence yet?
There's nothing in the back where you are yet, but you'd wager that at this point it's been a couple minutes. It's been long enough that Aegis probably has a rapid response team outside. Aegis is kind of like S.H.I.E.L.D. from the Marvel universe. They work with not civilians, but mundanes and supers to maintain the peace and intervene if needed, if the superheroes don't get there fast enough. But you'd wager there's probably at least some presence out front or out back even.
Did
Yeah.
Did my dad ever show up?
He hasn't. He's not inside yet. You guys have been moving pretty quick through this stuff. He might be out front.
I would like to unleash my powers and create an illusion out front telling police and or other supers what's going on and that we have this guy and someone needs to come handcuff him.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with the unleash. The actual making of the illusion of yourself outside isn't that difficult of a thing. It's more to the placement to make sure it's in the right spot.
That's an
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, you can't get anything back through it. It's not that kind of an illusion, but you definitely think you placed it probably right outside the front entrance, and it was able to rattle off or at least hold up a sign to say that you're all in back and you've got them under control. What are y'all going to do with Technomaster? Are you going to drag him out, goose march him out to the front, or frog march?
No. I got a better idea. Two take the leg, two take the arm, and we seesaw him out right to the waiting cops.
Just gonna toss him?
Yeah.
Kind of mean. I mean,
Well,
you snatched up his mech, you beat the heck out of him.
He ruined our fun, so you know what? You got to pay the price.
Y'all are spending too much time with me.
All right. Y'all can drag him out to the front and toss him out the open front doors. You see several large black vans with the Aegis logo prominently positioned on the side. He rolls to a stop at the feet of a Filipino woman in a business suit with a giant honking sword on her back. I mean, we're talking, it makes a barbarian's great sword look like a toothpick.
Wow.
Like, think Final Fantasy giant sword, that kind of scale.
Okay, yes.
Standing next to her is actually two men in mechanized armor. One lad you recognize as your father, and the other one is a hero that you're familiar with that works with Aegis, named Catalyst.
I wave. Hi, Dad.
He looks down at the sodden mess at the woman's feet and says, "Well, you didn't need me after all, did you?"
Nah.
Good on you. So
This-
they put some cuffs on the Technomaster and drag him off. You hear some static come over the speaker of Catalyst say, "Did you have to make him so messy? The van is gonna stink now. Jeez, kids."
Now, sorry, Catalyst.
Not my fault he can't take a little intimidation.
Yeah, not my fault. He should have probably not eaten before he got into that mech.
Yeah, come on, it's funny.
Yeah, maybe funny, but it's gonna smell up the van something fierce. Decon teams are not gonna be happy about this.
Anyway. Just tell them it was me. They'll be fine.
Okay. And with that, you have solved my heist puzzle.
Woohoo!
20.
All right. And nobody even managed to get an advancement. That's the first one of these where nobody has pulled that off. You guys rolled really way too well.
And that's pretty surprising, especially where the three of us were actually using the computer to roll. So
Yeah, Roll20 really didn't have a grudge out for anybody. I am shocked. That was
So far, it's been very
impressive.
nice to me.
yeah, some of my other campaigns, Roll20 has not been nice to me.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some instances where it's been horrible.
I've been playing
Right.
a basic campaign on Wednesdays with some friends, and it's definitely hit or miss. Where some real solid rolls, and then it's just like, oh,
We
you're in a fight with something much bigger than you, and that's awesome. And oh, that's a 3 to hit, that's a 2 to hit, that's a 5 to hit. Oh, there's a natural 20 on the monster to hit you. You know, how many hit points did
John,
you have again? 2. Good to know.
you're dead. John, like our Friday.
Yeah, we just started a 5th edition campaign this week, and my character got taken down in 1 hit.
The fun thing about 5th edition, though, is at least like you can recover from 0, or unless you get
Yeah.
hit for maximum
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
Basic edition is like, oh, you had 2 hit points, and you got hit for 3? Well, it was nice knowing your character. Roll up a new one, and we'll see you back in 20 minutes.
Like a week ago, like a month ago, I started a campaign in school, and my level 1 character got skewered by a kobold on Act 20. So that was fun, making a new character the same day I made the first one.
Well, that's the trick with some of the older games, and then 5th edition can be that way, but at least at the earlier levels. But the truth of the matter is that with most role-playing games, they try to give you some room for error. But with some of the older ones, it's like, no, combat's deadly. And it's not necessarily to say that never get into combat. It's get into combat in a smart way. Don't kick the door open and just jump in head first into a crowd of 30 goblins. Like, lure them out, take them apart, set traps. Be clever about it, because that rat is just as likely to kill you as you are to kill it.
True.
Even in 5th edition, though, combat's pretty much always deadly for a 1st level sorcerer.
Well, yeah, but at the
Yeah.
same time, like, as a first level sorcerer, you should be nowhere near getting like anywhere like physical combat damage. It can happen,
Yeah.
or you can have AOE
Oh.
or melee attacks, but like ideally, the sorcerer, you should be well away from anything that could
I
potentially kill you.
was not in melee combat.
He was
they
probably-
rolled really well on their ranged attacks.
It was a crossbow. He
Oh,
basically died
yeah,
briefly.
That could do it.
Yep, they
Yep.
one dude like crit on me with a ranged attack on the crossbow and
Oh.
took me out.
Yeah, but you still have death saving throws at least, so you still have a bit of a better chance. But
Yeah, I mean, my
Yeah.
character generally has a better chance than most people because it's a fallen Azamar shadow magic sorcerer. So I have
Okay.
Strength of the Grave, which is like, oh, if anything takes you below 0, you automatically just go down to 1. Except for if they are using radiant damage or they crit on you.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, anyone, thanks everyone so much for being a part of this. I think we're just about done with games this weekend. The closing ceremony is going to be starting soon. That's not to say people can't do their own thing or find more games online, but no, I think this weekend Expo has been pretty solid. Have any of you? I know some of you have played in some of the other games like Mike and whatnot, but have you guys enjoyed your time this weekend so far?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. It was a good weekend.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a learning experience as well, but I think that we might see more stuff like this in the future, just especially in light of everything that went down. But yeah, at least a positive experience across the board. All right, again, this is
Absolutely.
John with Long Island Tabletop, thanking everyone so much for playing here. I'd also like to thank Rob for being such a great game host, and all of you for playing as well.
I appreciate the opportunity. Hope everybody had fun.
Yep.
Thank you, Rob. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
Yeah, make sure to catch the closing ceremonies and have a safe and enjoyable rest of your weekend.
And if
You too.
anybody's looking for it, magpiegames.com/masks is the website for the mask system. So give it a look. It's a fun little game. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves.
I
All
did.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care.
Peace out.
Thanks for playing, guys.
There.
Um,